The Las Vegas Raiders should be all in when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. They must bet on the legendary Aaron Rodgers and make this trade, because with Aaron Rodgers, the Raiders can rise once again. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Green Bay Packers have seemingly built a little bit of a relationship over the past year or so. The Davante Adams trade did happen, so they've made big trades already. Josh McDaniels and Aaron Rodgers have the same agent, after all, so I'm sure both parties have heard from the other. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers doesn't solve all the Raiders' issues, but he certainly makes them a lot more interesting, a lot more compelling, and yes, a much better football team. Mark Davis has been searching for the big fish to put the Raider name back under the spotlight. And there isn't a bigger fish out there than Aaron Rodgers. Not only does Aaron Rodgers make the Raider name relevant again, but he also makes the Raider name dangerous again. And I, for one, as a NFL fan, want the Raiders to be relevant and want the Raiders to be dangerous. Good Raider football is best for the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers is best for the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of people are underestimating what Aaron Rodgers can still do at the quarterback position. I believe he was dealt a pretty rough hand last year. His play caller and him were never in sync. There was a ton of frustration between Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, what they both expected from the offense. Aaron Rodgers wanted it to be simpler. He wanted it to be more static. Matt LaFleur wanted to run all his RPO stuff. And then Aaron Rodgers didn't really trust any of these receivers until later in the year, where he trusted Christian Watson, but it was too little too late. And Aaron Rodgers just seemed disgruntled, seemed frustrated. He just needs a new home. He needs a fresh start. He needs a little bit of an energy boost. And I believe that the Raiders give him that boost. Aaron Rodgers is not that far from back-to-back MVPs. It's not like this guy still doesn't have a rocket for an arm. It's not like this guy is still simply, arguably, the most accurate passer in all of football. And now that Tom Brady is retired, I would argue he is by far the smartest quarterback in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, what he brings that is highly underestimated is a lot like Tom Brady, his football IQ and his ability to manage a football game from the quarterback position. It's very much mystical, marvelous, magnificent, the way Aaron Rodgers can control a football game, the way that he calls everything at the line of scrimmage, goes through his checks, sees the coverages, the way that he can draw people off sides through his cadence at the line of scrimmage, the way that he can simply just give a little check here and there to his receiver to set him up for a big play. Aaron Rodgers is smooth. Aaron Rodgers is effortless in the way that he manipulates a defense and the way that he manipulates the game. Aaron Rodgers is all-time special in the Brady Manning category when it comes to understanding game management from the quarterback position, when to try to make a big throw down the field, when to throw it away, when to take the sack, when to make the correct decision. This guy is next level smart and still has next level ability. The only thing Aaron Rodgers cannot do that he used to be able to do back in 2011 is like move around and make multiple people miss in and outside of the pocket. He can't really do that anymore, but he still can throw it 65 yards with just that flick of the wrist that Aaron Rodgers has always been so special and so renowned for. I also love how Raider Nation is really having a lot of fun with this. When Aaron Rodgers was playing golf, it just seems like he's always getting Raider chants. Raiders. Raiders. And as you can tell by Aaron Rodgers' reaction, he really likes that. He really likes people like wanting him and people appreciating him. And that's just the way Aaron Rodgers is. It feeds his ego a little bit and he loves that. But I love that Raider Nation is doing that, and you could tell the guy maybe is up for it. Like, he's given that smirk, he's given that smile, and one huge reason for it is Davante Adams.
Would I be interested in having Aaron Rodgers throw to me? Yes. Yes. I would love that.
Davante Adams is a special receiver. You could argue he still might be the best receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, they make a good case, but Davante Adams is right in that category. He has slick releases off the line of scrimmage. He is a fantastic route runner. There are not many combinations in the history of football that have the rapport the way that Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams have that rapport. It is next level. It's Hall of Fame special. It's Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady. It's Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. It's Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. It's Big Ben, AB. It's special stuff. The way that Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams every third down in Green Bay in 2020 and 2021 would just throw a back shoulder or throw a comeback or throw a fade ball like it was nothing, like the defense didn't know to double him, like the defense didn't know he was getting the ball. It just felt like every time the Packers needed a play, it was Rodgers, it was Adams, it was that combination. It was so reliant. That offense was so reliant on that combination that I really felt like it hindered the Packers in 2022 because they didn't know how to run an offense. Matt LaFleur didn't know how to run the offense without the Davante Adams safe, without the Davante Adams break it in case of emergency. Like, it's just Davante Adams on a slant, Davante Adams on a fade, Davante Adams on a back shoulder. It's just that easy for these guys, and it was effortless. It was smooth. It was all-time special. I really mean it. I feel like when you have this combination and two guys, a quarterback and a receiver, working at that level, it's impossible to stop. And not only do you have that combination potentially in Las Vegas, but you have so much more. So much that was not in Green Bay. You have Darren Waller, who, by the way, seems extremely excited to potentially be playing with Aaron Rodgers. He definitely wants Aaron Rodgers in Las Vegas.
I mean, you got the top rusher in the league, Josh Jacobs.
Best tight end in the league?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got Max Crosby. We got a bunch of dudes that can get it done. And if you come, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be lit.
Darren Waller is a special athlete. As long as he can stay healthy, that guy is going to eat with Aaron Rodgers. Imagine Aaron Rodgers' ability to feed the football accurately on the move to Darren Waller and how that could create yards after catch in this offense, down the seam, down the middle of the field, crossers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to feed Darren Waller and love that guy in the red zone. Hunter Renfrow, Aaron Rodgers loves a little slot player who can move the chains for him. Think Randall Cobb. You have Josh McDaniels' offense that obviously was heavily built on Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers could really do something special in that drop back passing game. A very intricate, detailed passing game that I don't feel like Aaron Rodgers has ever played in, but I feel like would be an effortless fit. I understand a lot of people are very much focusing on, well, Aaron Rodgers is used to one style of offense. He's used to the West Coast. There's a lot of the same concepts, a lot of the same plays. It's just the way that Josh McDaniels goes about teaching it. It's the language of the offense that may take Aaron Rodgers some time, but I already spoke on Aaron Rodgers is a genius. Like, this guy is really smart. I know that he can be a little bit egotistical, a little bit crazy, but he's very smart. And it will take him no time to pick up this offense. And the ability to have Josh McDaniels, who's worked with a big-time Hall of Fame, greatest of all-time quarterback, to go along with Aaron Rodgers, to have all these ideas, all this history to draw upon, to bring to Aaron Rodgers, that pocket passer, that distributor, that accurate guy, I mean, who sees the whole field, who manages the game from the quarterback position the same way Tom Brady did. It's just a match made in heaven, in my opinion. You have his number one go-to guy to keep him comfortable. You have multiple weapons to take the pressure off of Adams that weren't in Green Bay. You have a play caller that knows how to dial it up, and a play caller, by the way, in Josh McDaniels, who is still wanting to be a run-heavy attack. Like, the biggest and best thing Josh McDaniels did with the Raiders in year one was his ability to set up play action and his ability to set up the run game in this offense. Bringing in Jakob Johnson, having a fullback, having a power run game. Derek Carr wasn't really able to hit those shots down the field. Derek Carr very much took the check down too often and didn't try to make that big throw. And have we ever seen a quarterback better at making that second level big play, big throw, crosser, deep post, bomb down the sidelines than Aaron Rodgers? He's special at that, and it's just a flick of the wrist to get it there. Josh McDaniels will set that up all day. Power run for 6, power run for 7, and then bam, you get Aaron Rodgers with Darren Waller going across the middle, Davante Adams going deep. It could potentially be special in this offense. I love the fit for Aaron Rodgers here and think he could really revolutionize and revitalize his career with the Raiders. I think that's the other thing that it does. When we're talking about Josh McDaniels, it gives you a true analysis of Josh McDaniels. It allows you to evaluate your coach. If you bring in a rookie, well, you don't really know if Josh McDaniels is your true answer. And while I do believe in Josh McDaniels as a Patriots fan, I know a lot of Raiders fans were not happy with his first-year performance. By bringing in Aaron Rodgers, you're rather going to know that Josh McDaniels is your guy for the next at least few years, or you can move on quickly and find a new coach for this team. It allows you to evaluate McDaniels and make your decision on the coach. I feel like there's a section of Raider Nation that doesn't want this trade to happen. They don't want Aaron Rodgers because they believe going for Aaron Rodgers means giving up assets. And the Raiders have too many holes. At least, that's what they think. And I understand, your defense needs help. It's not the greatest defense in the world. And they certainly can't be as bad as they were last year if you really want to win a lot of games. But your biggest issue was not defense. It was not quarterback. It was situational football. The Las Vegas Raiders lost 9 one-score games last year. They gave up a ton of leads, and they lost the game in the fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers, throughout the course of a game, manages the game like a master chess player, like a grandmaster. That is what Aaron Rodgers is. He makes a big throw in the third quarter that changes the game. He doesn't throw the game-losing interception because Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw interceptions that much. Aaron Rodgers knows how this game works, how the full 60 minutes is packaged. And that is what Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels missed last year. They weren't in sync on that level. I feel like that makes all the difference in these one-score games. And that's really what it comes down to determine whether or not the Raiders were going to be a playoff team or not last year. That's really what it came down to. One big throw, one big miss, one big interception, the possession before the half, the possession at the end of the game. And yes, your defense needs to improve. There's areas this roster can get better, but that area alone makes all the difference in the wins and losses column, and that oftentimes determines who's a great quarterback and who's just a pretty good one. You know what? It actually reminds me a lot of the 2019 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a team that lost a ton of one-score games, and then Tom Brady comes to the team in 2020, and all of a sudden they're the Super Bowl champs because Tom Brady just made the right throw at the right time, the big throw when the team needed it, and he won the close games. And Aaron Rodgers can do that for you because he's Aaron Rodgers. Everything seems great here. Aaron Rodgers with a detailed play caller who wants to run the football just like in Green Bay. He has his buddy as his number one wide receiver. He has a really good chain mover at slot. He's got a great athlete at tight end. The final ingredient, it's that offensive line. The offensive line of the Raiders was actually really underrated last year, and when you compare it to the Packers, it was just as good as the Packers line. It was one of the best moving people in the run game, which sets up that play action game. It was very much improved from a pass blocking perspective, and they did it with very limited resources. The Raiders spent the least amount of capital on the offensive line position last year. I expect them to maybe tweak, fix that right side of the offensive line, and then all of a sudden you have a potent Raiders attack if Aaron Rodgers is throwing the rock. I know, defense definitely is going to matter here. But if you move that first round pick for Aaron Rodgers, maybe you throw in another third or a future second. I'm not sure what it's going to take from a compensation standpoint. But all of a sudden, the Raiders are really going to have all their answers on offense. Then they can spend the rest of that cash, that money that they have in free agency, which they've got a lot of it. I know some of that's going to go to Aaron Rodgers, a large chunk. You can start to deal on defense, picking up veteran corners, picking up system fits in the front seven, maybe some depth on the defensive line. The Raiders' defense does not have to be fantastic if they get Aaron Rodgers and this offense is top 5 in the NFL and they get a little bit of luck in those close games. All of a sudden, the Raiders are an extremely difficult football team to beat. If they just improve into a top 20 defense, which they can very much do with 1 or 2 good draft picks and 1 or 2 good signings at key positions, the Raiders are going to be a tough team to beat if they pick up Aaron Rodgers. I think when you have the opportunity to trade for a Hall of Famer, an all-time great, a big fish such as Aaron Rodgers, and you can have this exciting football team, I mean, why not, man? What's the worst that can happen? Become relevant again, Raiders. Rise once again. I want to see it. I want to root for it. I want to see the Raiders rise. And I believe if they bet on Aaron Rodgers, they will cash in big time. The Rodgers Raiders just win, baby. And also, Super Bowl's in Las Vegas, just saying. Thanks, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe for more NFL. It's Mitch. Peace.